Yes, sir, it's that time again. Good evening, fine people of the internet. It is, once again, time for a music stream. Been a moment since we, did this, Welcome to the stream, Brother Jaybird, and, yeah. Been a minute since I've worn these, actually. Last time I broke these out was for the big, Madverse City collab I did a few months ago, but... That's why I brought them out again. Fits the theme of the stream, which is, I'm going to be trying to write something rap style, hip-hop style, write a beat. Which may sound like it's completely out of my wheelhouse, but this is not the first time I've done this, if you're willing to believe it. I actually have an entire tape of it, and an entire mixtape a few months ago, to promote the exact same event that I just mentioned a minute ago. I believe it's under, the Roasting Sessions, it was called. You can look it up, in a moment. But anyways, I figured it's been a bit too long since we've had a DAW stream, and, since the whole theme of this last little while has been getting ready to send off, this particular outfit of mine, I figured, might as well, do one last DAW stream for old time's sake, you know? Just, seemed like the right thing to do. Like the right call. Though it probably would have been an even better call had I, decided to do some metal, but I'm already working on that. But they're secret projects that I cannot share publicly. As a matter of fact, I probably technically shouldn't be sharing this publicly either, but this is from a project that's so far off, like so early in development, that there's really nothing to leak. Not that I'm going to give you details anyways, but I'm just gonna proceed with caution. You dig? Anyways, yeah, like I said, this is going to be a hip-hop sort of beat, and as you can see, I already started on it, silly me. I was laying down a drum track as part of the preparation, and I was like, wait a second, why am I doing this? I said I was about to stream this. I should probably save this for the actual stream. So, yeah, you're getting the slightly in medias res. So, you'll have to forgive me for that little, still a little mistake, but better early in the process. At least I caught myself early enough. As opposed to giving myself absolutely nothing to work with, nothing to stream later on. Anyways, might as well show you what I got so far. Which is not much, it's pretty much just a drum track. Which sounds a little something like this. Silly me, I forgot I was in the middle of editing that. I'm supposed to skip to the little chorus here. That's a little more like it. Yep. Anyway, so that's where I left off. Just having the chorus drum beat. Made the intro, and then changed up the verse drum beat a little bit. But I gotta edit these a little. Which is supposed to be the first order of business on stream. So first of all, these are velocity settings, these are way too low. Even for not being my usual crazy metal stuff. These gotta come up. And then the other thing is, I'm working with the drum library for the first time in a little while. This is a drum library where the rim shots are at a different, are activated by a different key than the center shots. Some drum plugins consolidate them all to the same snare, activating the same snare key, but others, they split up the center and the rim shot. This is an example of the latter. There we go. So, if I were doing metal, I would basically want every snare hit besides the ghost notes to be on the rim shot. But this is more hip-hop, which means it's a little more, well, specifically old school hip-hop, the kind that decided to sampled old funkin' jazz tunes, so... Welcome to the stream, Saint. I should have predicted somebody less mature would have not understood that. But that actually is the name of the articulation. It is called a rim shot because you're hitting the rim of the snare drum, the big metal part. You can tell why this is a bit more of a desirable articulation for metal. Don't you think? Compare and contrast. Center hit. And then rim shot. Rim shots are a little more powerful. Which, again, is desirable for metal. But, again, I'm doing a more old-school hip-hop sort of idea, which means I'm basically imitating jazz and funk. And they don't do all rim shots all the time. But they do like to use rim shots to emphasize stronger beats. Which means, in this case, the 4. So I gotta do much the same over here. Select everything, and then bring the velocities up. And bring this up a couple keys of the rim shot. And just like that, ipso presto, there's my verse beat done. This is going to be a very simple, repetitive sort of drum beat. Again, this is not a metal tune. We're basically imitating a sampled, like sampling a drum part from a vinyl record. Like just taking a little snippet of it and just playing it again and again and again. Because that's usually what hip-hop calls for. It's a very vocals-first genre, which means the instruments are meant to give a little backdrop. It's more for, not exactly ambience, but it's more for feel than anything else. Like, for instance, compare Still Dre to, I don't know, something like Because I Got High. They both have the same ideas, still rap songs, still have beats, but completely different feelings, and that comes down to the beat. I don't know what exactly I'm going to do for it after I write the drums, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So just relax. Anyways, so, believe it or not, I'm actually pretty close to done. That's a big chunk of the work already there. So, next order of business, pre-chorus, which I know I want to be softer. We're doing some little more dynamic, which means they're going to come into my drum plugin. And yes, we are back on Easy Drummer. It's probably been a while since I've used this on stream, because you all know I tend to prefer Ugratone samplers, especially the one I just bought, Northern Artillery. Which sounds amazing, but it doesn't fit this particular project quite that well. In fact, I don't really own any particular samplers that specialize in rap. I have samples that specialize in it, but I would have to basically make the sampler myself, and that's a pain in the ass. I didn't feel like dealing with that. Especially not if I'm streaming the songwriting process of it. Anyways, let's see what we got here. So I'm thinking a side stick groove is what we want for this particular part. That'll work. Again, it's a little quiet, but we can work with that. We can fix that. So I want to forward here down to 13, measure 13. Basic math. Because again, basic songwriting. This is probably going to be a song on the shorter side, but it's all just divided into 4 or 8. Maybe a 16th if you're feeling pretentious. Any more than that, and you're basically And Justice for All era Metallica, doing some prog shit. not caring if you put the audience to sleep or not with the length of your song. You're making art. But I am making art, but I'm making commercial art. So this is probably going to be 3 minutes at most. Maybe 3:30. Don't know yet. Anyways, so bring this down here. Give it a little opening hit. Over here. There we go. All the way to the right. Fantastic. Because, of course, we're using the ride for this part, so it would only make sense to open with the symbol that's over there. It's simple part engineering. So, funnily enough, that part's basically perfect. Alright, so next order of business, I don't think I want to do it for the whole pre-chorus, because again, dynamics. I'm thinking gradual build-up is what I want to do for this one. Right after I edit this to up the velocities. Gotta be louder. So yeah, that's the difference between grabbing the velocities down here versus up there. If you're not careful, you get weird-ass noises like what I just made. Not that big of a deal, just something you gotta watch out for. Let's see, so we want this to be a measure 17, but I want to alter this. Alright, I do want an opening hit, but only on one of them. I'll explain what I'm doing in a moment, just trying to think it out in my head first. Alright. Bring all this shit way up. I think we'll be cheeky. I think we'll use a tom. Alright, so we'll bring these down to tom 2. Perfect. I like that. That's more clever. So I don't really feel like editing all that again in a different one. Wait a second. And I just realized I changed the wrong damn part. Well, it's a good thing I preserved them in here. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, so bring the velocities up again, but... Bring this up. There we go. The side stick was what I wanted to alter. Now these. Perfect. That's more like it. Excellent. So we do much the same thing over here. Bring up the rye because it's quiet as a motherfuck. Bring the side sticks up to the top. Floor tom, there we go. Give it a little variation. Alright. And this, fill. And we'll just use the same one from back over there. Whoops. Forgot to mute these when I was done with them. That's why it sounded a little louder than it should have. Probably didn't sound that loud to you. I have the DAW capture a little quiet, but it surprised me. But now back to the dilemma I was having before I started stream. Which I just solved just by thinking about it. I do want to swap the verse and the chorus around. There we go. That's better. The chorus is meant to be the interesting part. And so for the second verse, just like that. Verse 2. Pre-chorus 2. Just copy it over. Chorus 2. There we go. Just more copying. Just like that. Perfect. Then a bridge here. Let's make it a part for that. Let's see what we got. I like this. Yes, I like this a lot. So we're going all the way over to measure 53. There we go. Yeah, but just for the sake of mixing it up a bit, we'll put one little kick passage here. Just so that we don't completely bore the shit out of the listener. Can't go too formulaic. Alright. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. Just about perfect. So now I just drag these two little parts in here. And remember to mute these this time. So I'm sorry, so the last two times, take these, up the velocity. Let's see. Snare, there we go. So for the most part, these are fine, but again, the ones that emphasize more important notes, in this case the 4, we make those rim shots. Same story over here. Bring everything up. And then bring the two snare hits on 4 all the way up to the rim shot key. Perfect. So I think we'll go real wild for the end of the bridge. We'll let him have a whole nother fill. Why not? So with that, let's look for one. Sounds good to me. So we'll edit this a bit. Velocities are all fine for this for this juncture, except every snare hit, except this one, will be a rim shot. And then we'll launch into one final chorus. And to end it off, we'll take these two fills, play them back to back. And now for this last one. I forget where to find the ending I want, so we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way, my cheat way. There we go. Alright, I think that's enough ring out time, so we'll give it an extra 2 measures. And we'll call that the ending. Perfect. Again, pretty repetitive, but we're imitating a hip-hop beat. Which brings you to the next order of business, which is Isotope Vinyl. This is sort of a secret weapon if you want to give your song a little vintage vibe. Alright, so you'll have to forgive me for I didn't explain it right away, but shit. This should look somewhat self-explanatory. So basically, dust imitates how much dust you would have on a record, like if you had just pulled it out from a dusty attic and they didn't bother putting it in the sleeve. Do you want to imitate that? Or do you want it to be, like, brand new out of the store? I would think, I would like to imagine that this was a somewhat better taken care of record, so we'll put it at 18%, why not? Now, scratch. That basically imitates scratches. How much is the record going to skip? Again, I'm going for milder wear, so we'll put it at 14%. And finally, warp. Basically, vinyl gets a little wavier as it ages, loses its integrity. You notice it more on more melodic instruments, like if I put it on a piano or something, then you would have noticed it. On drums, it's not quite as noticeable. Because again, that's the main thing that happens when you when a record ages and gets all warped. The pitch gets all wacky. Not that you would notice it in a drum part. Because again, drums are not about pitch, by and large. Alright, so for the moment, that's really all the mastering I want to do. So, or the mixing I want to do. Yeah. So yeah, Lo-Fi Switch does what it says it does. Low fidelity, sampler artifacts. I'm not sure if I want to use that quite yet, but I'll work with the rest of the instruments and think on it. Alright, so next order of business. I'm thinking I want an electric piano. That strikes as a very hip-hop sort of instrument, so why not? So, we'll use my usual keyboard type thing. Keystone Classic. All reliable. And we'll use basic electric piano. Yeah, Rhodes piano, that's what I meant, not electric piano. I get those two mixed up. I don't work with those sorts of instruments all the time, so you'll have to forgive me. If anybody actually knows what they're doing, they will say so, but for the immediate moment, no. So, next order of business. Again, we want something a little more repetitive. a bit more earwormy. So, that means coming up with a riff. This is something I'm all too familiar with. Let's see, snap into a key. So, I want something slightly more aggressive, so we'll go A flat natural minor, why not? Something like that. Switch that back to squares. There we go. Just sort of straight eighth notes here. So I don't want this to be just straight notes. Yeah, a little too emotional. Let's syncopate these a bit, not just straight eighth notes. Perfect. Nice, little groovy, little funky. Not just the... Alright, so I have incentive, this, I need to make sure this sounds really good before I move on, because again, this is going to be playing probably throughout the entire song, so I need to make sure it's good immediately. Because if I just, if it's lame, then the entire song is lame. If it's amazing, it's the hook. Like again, think back to Lose Yourself, Still Dre, In the Club. Those, that's all the same riff over and over again, but the riff is so good, you don't mind listening to it over and over again for 3 or 4 minutes. That's something I gotta nail here. Let's see. Something I want to experiment with. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'm liking that. I'm digging that. Yeah, that's sounding pretty good. That's pretty nice. I'm digging that pretty well. So now let's go ahead and humanize that a bit. Because again, samples. We need to make it sound like an actual human played that. So, humanize. I can just press H. I don't know why I bothered looking for it in the menu. Let's bump the timing up a little more. Velocity a lot more. Bring the velocities down on these. Let's hear how that sounds. Perfect. I think we'll go ahead and leave that out of the pre-chorus. We'll come up with something else for that. So yeah, I lied. Not the entire song. Just most of it. Alright. Excellent. Let's hear what locks in with the drums now. Alright, I'm not feeling it as an E piano. I say we switch patches. Let's switch it to a sine wave. No, that's lame too. Okay, last chance electric piano. No, I don't know about that either. Well, I guess we're switching it to a synthesizer. Fortunately, I already have one loaded up. But not the right patch. So, introducing Tal Noisemaker, free synth. Pretty nice one. This is my first time using it, actually, on anything. Just downloaded it the other night. Let's try one of these keys. Chimp organ. Organs are usually a pretty safe bet. That's more fucking like it. That rules. So, yeah, forget the piano. The main riff is going to be played on organ. In fact, I like that so much, I think I'm going to switch up the format of the song a bit. After I move everything else, scooch everything else a bit. So, just 2 measures of it playing by itself. And now we bring everything back where it belongs. Which means I gotta rearrange my carefully laid markers, but it's worth it. Because now I have a nice, kick-ass little intro. To the cause of the music being a little less irritating, all others shall give way. Alright, that will do it. Although, one last thing I want to experiment with before I move on. How will it sound if we transpose it up an octave? Better. So yeah, that's a change we need to make. Switch it all up. Change everything over. Make way for your new higher octave overlords. That said, there's also one more change I want to make. Okay. Quantize everything again. We'll rehumanize it later. Action, show action list. I want to set these all to a neutral velocity. 70, sure. Because I want to set these all to the same note. Perfect. Now we take this all and humanize them all over again. Perfect. Now, let's see what we can do for bass. I would say that's the next real, absolutely critical part. It's a standard electric bass. Easy bass, there we go. We'll switch to vintage bass. Let's see, what we got for grooves? I don't really feel like coming up with my own bass line for this particular part. Let's see, funk, that's gotta be something good. That sounds good, but I'm like 90% sure I'd use that in another song. I like that. Perfect. Brilliant. Alright, so go back to the verse. Measure 9. That's it, we need to change the key. We are in D sharp minor. Alright. Next order of business. I'm not feeling this bass tone. Let's see what they got for presets over here. Yeah, this is turning out pretty well so far. I'm liking this. Alright, next order of business. I don't know what the fuck that is, but I want it in my song. So that means we go over to the bridge. So measure 57. So I suppose we'll start with a fill. Again, I need to reemphasize I fucking love this part. It will be my absolute pleasure to have this in my song. A perfect fit, even better. Alright, back on target. They don't seem to have a bridge, so I suppose we'll just use another verse. So that's basically perfectly what I want. So we'll drag it in. I said we'll drag it in. There we go. So now, chorus boogie. Well, I didn't mean to go quite this old school, but it sounds good, so send it. Look, this is probably like origin hip-hop. Like the real old shit. Back when it was just forming. But again, it sounds good, so why the fuck wouldn't I use it? So now, find more fills. Let's find some slap. I'm in the mood for some slap. If I can find some. Genre any. Genre any. Any. Okay, this is fucked up. I could have sworn I had some slap. And I do. It didn't count any. No slap fills, though. That's unfortunate. Okay, let's try this again. Alright, so I like both of these fills, so as good a way to end the song as any. So might as well just end on a nice big ol' E. Perfect. Alright. So if I wanted to be real simple, I could probably get away with just using these three. Okay, I made one miscalculation. This one towards the end of the chorus gets a little fucky. those two are in miscommunication. Okay, I don't know why it's not letting it play at the same time. It usually does. Ah. So I think we're almost ready. Okay, why won't you let me zoom? Because I wasn't holding control. That's right. Okay, get rid of this highlight. I don't want it. Okay, so we want to split this in half. Change the chord. Let's see how that sounds. Absolutely perfect. Everything is fixed. And the other two don't really need to be altered that way, so just drag it in. I said drag it in. God, I'm a fucking klutz. Get rid of the other two reps of the chorus. Bring those over here. Okay, so something else that's fucky. Alright, so this our fill's gotta go in favor of this version of it. That's the stuff. That should be everything I need to fix as far as the bass line goes. But of course I do want to give it some evolution. Can't have it completely stuck in one idea all the time. So what next? I said we had a guitar. I know, typical metal dude wants to add a guitar to everything, but just bear with me here. There we go. Just one track, because that's all I really need. And I just realized I have to go digging for my impulse folder, so can't show you that. Pardon me a moment. Alright, I'm back. Pardon the interruption, but while I was away, I figured I'd fix it up a bit so that I never have to go through this do-si-do again. So, now I'm just right in my impulse folder, not having to dig through it like every other time. Took me a long time to realize I could do this, but... Say la vie. Anyways, pickups, this is what I wanted. Telecaster, this is what I wanted. And I just realized I got a bit ahead of myself. I should probably actually write some parts. We'll start with the second pre-chorus. And we'll copy this over. We'll start with that. So, quantize everything again. Bring everything up to 100. Get rid of the higher notes, because we're not doing chords, at least not for this part. That's more like it. Alright. Now we're ready to actually properly do this. There we Almost got it. Just about perfect. Last order of business. Under the key snap, I need to load up my note names for this particular virtual instrument. And it's right there. But one more thing I gotta do. I forgot to enable the key switches. All on with tremolo, just like it said in the patch. Yeah, that was a beautiful sound, but just bear with it. It was absolutely critical. Let's see how it goes. Almost there. Let's hold it up with the organ, just to make sure. The note wasn't playing for some reason. That was exceedingly strange. Yeah, no, I should make it fit in with the bass a little more. Right idea, wrong notes. So let's compare. So I want to go for an A flat there. Perfect, more or less. Okay, that missing note is driving me absolutely fucking crazy. I gotta fix it somehow. Fine, you're gonna make me do it all over again? Fine, I'll play your fucking game. Yeah, that's the problem with using a non-mainstream plugin. Something from a more obscure company. It's just, higher odds that it's going to be a bit jank to work with. But I'm not going back to Metal GTX for this long-ass load time, so... bitch. You're really gonna make me... That's fucking irritating. But I've been successfully worn down. I no longer give a shit. Alright, next order of business, now that that's over. Let's dial in a tone. I don't feel like bothering with an amp this time. I'm going to try a different method for getting a clean guitar sound that I learned from somebody long ago by the name of Joe Quick of 3 Sigma Audio. Same dude who made this very pickup impulse that I'm using. Which to explain these, I'm basically trying to make my guitar sound like a different guitar. That's about as much explanation as I feel like giving at the moment, so... Did it slightly out of order. Alright, now for another instance of this. Sounds good. Next order of business. Sounds good to me. Now another instance of this. Not feeling that one. We're getting there, but I'm not feeling this method. Get rid of this. Let's use something else. Let's show one of my, Thermionic. Old amp sims. I can trust these usually. Vocal 30. Vox AC 30. Classic amp. Pretty reliable for clean tones. Sounding good. We'll call this part Guitar Main, why not? Alright, double check this so I know what I'm doing. Whoops. Alright, so D sharp, D sharp. Just bouncing between D sharp and G sharp. I can dig it. And now I get to show you a tool that I didn't think I'd be using on this song, but it's the right tool for the job. Check it out. Introducing Lunker's Mini Guitar Chord Tool. And I just realized I've been on the wrong goddamn screen this entire time. Big yob. Well, that's unfortunate, but I don't think I left anything too incriminating on screen, so... I'm just trying something out here. That's more like it. That's better. So yeah, this is more programming than actual songwriting, but the part's simple, so I can afford to do it. Now, next order of business, get rid of these. Ah, Carmine! Been a minute since I've seen you. Good to see you, man. And, yeah, I would say this is turning out rather groovy. Alright. Gotta do some cross-referencing here. Okay, so G sharp. That's right. Let's see. That's A flat. Then again, I think I'm better off doing it an octave lower. Transpose, selected notes, -12. Let's hear how that sounds. Much better. Less weird. You wouldn't usually play a B flat quite that high up. Okay, I didn't mean to select that, but let's just bring that over here. Now select everything, but deselect these. Perfect. That's extra of course 2. Now drag it over to chorus 3. And do much the same do-si-do we've been doing there, make it the ending. Get rid of these, because these 2 notes are all I need. That's the end of the song. I just got a dumb, fun idea. Maybe I'll make this nothing but scratches. Like a percussive instrument. Nice. Nice little percussive element. Why not? Introduce a guitar earlier, but not really giving it Okay, so something I'm not really digging. I don't think I want this vinyl bus on just the drums anymore. Let's drag it over to the master. Disable it over here. And I gotta put it before this plugin, otherwise you will not be able to hear it in action. Make it affect absolutely everything. Why not? Alright, check the chords for that section. Over to the bridge. This is funny, the bass and guitar are basically going to switch roles here. The guitar is going to dictate what the bass is playing. We're pretty much doing a bass solo. Why not? Lost my way a bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to simplify this a bit. I ain't doing all that chord switchy nonsense. I think that's for the bass. We'll just have it stay on B flat. Sounds pretty alright. This part needs to be changed up, though. Almost there. I also want these to be palm muted. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, we'll wrap these up too, why not? If I can remember the command for it. I know there's some key switch I can do for this, but I don't remember it off the top of my head. Fuck it. That'll work. Alright, I changed my mind on this. I want to try something else. That's better. Much better. Bass has a little more room to breathe now. That said, I'm not going to discard the chord idea wholesale. We'll bring it up to the old organ. All right. Now for a little humanization. Whoops. Yeah, this is working pretty well. Alright, this actually worked pretty well. Working pretty damn well. Yeah, glad to think so, man. Glad to think so. Although the funny thing is, this actually got somewhat derailed. I pretty much made the song with the intent of it being old school hip hop, but no, it's pretty much just straight up funk. Not that I mind, though. Doing something incorrectly and still having it sound good is better than doing it correctly and it sounding like shit. That's my perspective, anyways. So, might be getting ahead of myself, but I want to do a little mixing. Let's see. High cut. Doesn't seem like I can do it here, but that's fine by me. I just want to listen to that section again, so I might as well. Raid. We got a raid. Brother Soul Marquise. Pleasure to see you, man. Thank you for the raid. Good to see you and your friends. Alright. Gotta take a break. There we go. There we go. Soul Marquise. Part of the Elden Ring hype train. That's fine by me. I am playing that. I don't watch it streams, but that's fine. All good. As long as you had a good time, that's what matters. As long as you had a good time streaming it, that's what matters. Fuck my opinion. Never mind, I really do, that's something I want to do later on, once I'm a little less swamped with off-screen work. More fantasy-type music. More orchestral-type stuff. I'm gonna have to work on that, but for the moment, gotta stay on target. Alright, so in that case, I was just clearing up some mud, as we call it in the business. Clear up the mud. Make the mix breathe a little better. Make sure everything's working, make sure everything is basically sitting where it belongs in the mix. Okay, so these two mics I had these two muted for a reason. That reason being, again, I was going for old school hip hop initially, which meant I was assuming these would be samples that somebody else played, not part of a proper, not an actual drummer playing it, but again, plans changed a bit. Speaking of, I should probably make the fills a little more interesting. That works. There we go. So yeah, this is all stuff that I would have done had I had this idea earlier, but this is basically just pure last minute. Pretty much strictly at the last minute, 11th hour. Perfect. Wrong button. My mistake. like that one. Liking this, liking this. Alright, so the reason all these lower velocity notes I'm getting rid of, those are what are called ghost notes. Those sound completely wrong on the rimshot articulation. Now, contrast that if I had just decided to be lazy and bring them all up there. Okay, it didn't sound that bad, but if you're doing some crazy, like, gent, periphery, or animals as leaders, sort of if you have a lot of ghost notes, the more ghost notes a passage has, the weirder it'll sound if you put everything on the rimshot articulation. Ghost notes are supposed to be in the center, so... Again, I'm just going to fix that. They call them ghost notes for a reason. They're not supposed to be perceived. Let's see, what next? I gotta do some volume adjustment. I forgot about this. I forgot about, yeah, the reason the hi-hat was so loud was because it didn't pick up much in the direct mic. It pretty much mostly comes from the overheads, which I had muted until now because I assumed I wouldn't need them. So, now that I re-enabled them, they are loud as all hell. Pardon the sidetracking. Okay, so I like half of that. Okay, I knew I wasn't crazy. No, not crazy, just dumb. Alright. So we're basically making a super part here. There we go. Perfect. Back over here. put this at the end of the bridge. Edit this. And for those of you who haven't been here since the beginning, the reason I'm only putting certain notes on rim shots and leaving others in the center, besides the ghost note idea, again, the genre I was going for, usually when I'm doing metal, it's all rim shots all the time, unless it's a ghost note. Here, they encourage dynamics in other styles of drumming, so I've decided to imitate that to the best of my ability. And while I was doing that, I think I'm done with the drum part. That works. Alright, let's see what else. So, the pre-chorus needs a little more filler, so I'm going to elect to take the same synth I have over here, Tau Noisemaker, and choose a different patch. We'll look for a pad. There we go. Pad, fantasy pad, sure. There. I wasn't sure if I screwed it up or not, so, Alright, check the bass part for the pre-chorus. So just D sharp minor and G sharp minor. I'm suddenly not so sure about this patch, but I might as well just write out the part at least. Insert chord, minor, there we go. We'll invert it up. We'll place a bass note down here, just to make it really lush. That is sort of the point of this particular part. Harmonic filler. Now, gotta change the key snap. If I can remember what the friggin' chord I'm playing over is. G sharp, that's right. G sharp or A flat. So, G sharp. Chords. Minor triad. Okay, so the chords are playing too long. So it's supposed to take up one measure. Silly me. Now bring this other one over here. Shorten it. Perfect. So other than being completely the wrong patch, it sounds perfect. And this is a little more vintage sounding. And my dumbass realized I have a better synth for that. Let's try Dext. There we go. Finally. Actually, no, I'm not feeling that one. Not feeling this one either. Pipes. Pretty nice, pretty nice. And now we'll stick with the last one. Nice enough, but need some reverb. We'll try DD reverb. I've never used this before. That's the stuff. Alright. Now let's hear how it sounds with the rest. Okay, that's a soft organ, which means I gotta rename this to hard organ. Let's hear how it sounds if I make this cheeky little adjustment. Just to hear how it sounds. Stop that. Mute items, where's mute items? There it is. Almost there. This has to be a lot softer if we're going to use it for this purpose. That's not going to work. Unless I automate it, but I'm really in the mood to do that. Alright. Progress check. Alright, not bad, not bad. Again, my intent got entirely derailed that time, but I'd say for what it's worth, for not being what I originally intended, it's turned out pretty damn well, I would say. That said, I think my creative batteries run just a bit low, so I think I'm gonna call it a night there. So, yeah. I guess that's a score on that. But before I go, there's a couple of things on my mind. Well, really only one thing. So, as I said in the notification on Twitch, this is actually my second to last stream using this outfit. The next stream is going to be on Monday, and it's going to be the anniversary special. That I'm still not quite sure what I'm going to be doing. Besides reflecting a bunch, but as for what to do to actually make it interesting, that's up in the air. I don't know. But then again, at the risk of potentially being a downer, I'm sure at least a few people have had it drilled into their heads that they need to appreciate things while they're there, consider things while they're there. And I somewhat feel that right now, but probably not as much as I would like. I suppose I'll explain it more. I'll talk about it more on the anniversary stream, but I'm really more excited than anything, if I'm being honest. About almost being ready to retire this outfit. And there are a lot of reasons for that, but again, I think that's better saved for the proper anniversary stream. So, yeah. I suppose I will see you all Monday, but obviously, before I go, this is Twitch. We need to pick out a raid target. So let's see who's on. Preferably somebody who's not streaming Elden Ring, to be blunt. Never mind, I know exactly who we're raiding. Faber's on. Faber's still on. So yeah, we're raiding Faber. No ifs, ands, or buts. So, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for listening to the song, I suppose. I'll see you all on Monday for the anniversary stream. Till then, take it easy. Let's go say hi to Faber.